Pelvic hit zone is divided into the front, groin, back, and buttocks. You know, we can head-eyes people. Now you can, like, you have butthole this guy with buckshot. New butthole meta incoming, dude. All right, so, like, this is, without a doubt, my most anticipated Tarkov update ever. Like, I'm beyond excited. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. I've made videos before in the past about the 0.14 roadmap. And right now, we're going to be going over the patch notes. And apparently there is a lot to go through. We'd like to present the Escape from Tarkov 0.14 patch notes. There will be a wipe with the patch. This update will not affect Escape from Tarkov arena players' progress. New content, Ground Zero. This is that new tutorial map. The Ground Zero location, suited in the city center of Tarkov, has been added to the game. Location features of an infrastructure facilities of a modern city, banks, cafes, restaurants, pharmacies, and so on. All this is towered by skyscrapers of Tarkov. In the very center of the location is the main Russian branch office of the terror group where the original conflict began. The most violent clashes between the USEC PMC operatives and Oman took place in the facility's premise. What the fuck is Oman? Location is intended for players from level 1 to 20. PMCs higher than level 20 will not be able to access the location. Scavs will have access to this location at any level. New starter quests have been added to the location. Visual cues for players have been added to the location. Quest debut, checking, renamed to background check, storage, supplier, and Gunsmith Part 1 received updated text descriptions. So that's cool. So the noobs kind of have a playground now. Place to, you know, just kind of go there and not really necessarily worry about like Giga Chads on him. So I think that's great. A new boss Colante has been added to Streets of Tarkov. He's a former officer of the MVD, Ministry of Internal Affairs. During his service in law enforcement, he had a reputation as a vile man whose behavior was sometimes feared by his coworkers. During his work, he often resorted to his favorite method of interrogation, a rubber baton, as well as a statutory pressure on someone who was not to his liking. Thanks to his physical strength and bold temperament, after the events of the terror group scandal, he formed a gang and began to do himself was recently supposed to combat looting and banditry. However, before the conflict, he provided a protection to a local businessman. For example, his good relations with Kavan are well known. So he's like Kavan's like boy, I guess. Colante has a small number of guards, prefers to stay in one position, and occasionally patrols his territory. If he feels like he has the upper hand, he may switch to his police baton. He lives in the area around Kimlov Shopping Mall in the Tarkov Academy and Ministry of Internal Affairs. So he will be on the intro map as a boss. He'll be at the Kimlov like shopping mall. That's cool. So there's like a police academy then at the Ministry of Internal Affairs, and I think that's on the I don't think this is in Streets. I think this is on Ground Zero here. That's pretty cool. Kavan's guards. Kavan is joined by his closest associates Basmuch and Gus. Since the time of Kavan's active involvement in the business, they have served as his loyal associates, solving many delicate issues for him. Their loyal service and their exuberant character made them his most trusted confidants. In their spare time, these two dandies like to dress up at Ragavan's place and organize illegal street races through the streets of Tarkov and tune cars from Kavan's dealership. Basmuch and Gus always stay close to Kavan and charge into battle for him. They prefer their unique clothes to their battle gear, though they are occasionally exceptions. Basmuch has a special fondness for matches and Gus for crowbars. Machetes. Sorry. It's really early for me. And I'm also dyslexic. Shoreline rework. Finally. Visually rework most of the landscape, keeping the main points of interest intact. Added new areas, a small cattle farm, which is home to smugglers and scavs. Updated light sources, optimized most of the location, completely redesigned the coaling system, reworked location borders, concrete fence replaced by minefields and snipers in most areas. This location is also slightly expanded in some areas. Reworked some points of interest, including the addition of new quests and activities in several previously empty zones. Some areas have been reworked to improve the gameplay. Added a river crossing, reworked almost all elevations and sniper positions, as well as Scav's area of interest. Added more than 30 new containers and Jaeger stashes, and fixed over 1,200 visual bugs. Hopefully Shoreline is really good now. This map has always been so ass. It's been needing like love for a long time, a really long time. So that's awesome. Super stoked that this is finally in. New weapons and equipment. Added a number of new items, weapon modifications, equipment customizations. The new 9A91 9x39 compact assault rifle. The KSV94, another 9x39 assault rifle. These are basically like the same thing, just like slightly different. They're like variants of each other. SIG MCX Spear and 6A51 or .277 Fury assault rifle. That's cool. We got the RPD and the RPDN. Again, two similar guns, pretty much the same. Pretty sure RPDN has just like a dovetail mount, allows you to mount optics on it. Might be wrong. I'm not like totally well versed on Russian weapons. Updated the models and animations for the Simonov SKS 763 and Carbine. Hey, we got new SKS and new animations for it. That's great, because SKS animations are always kind of ass. They're very old, and I'm glad they're kind of going through a lot of these old weapons and like updating them. Changes and new mechanics. Achievements. An achievement system has been added to the game. Players will receive achievements upon completing various objectives. Earned achievements will not be lost with the wipes. You can view the earned achievements on the character's screen. I think they showed this in the BSG podcast. So also cool. It's like something to work for those achievers and leaderboard climbers. We have the Hall of Fame. A new hideout zone, Hall of Fame, has been added to the game. The zone serves a place where you can display your memories. For displaying the dog tags of players of the opposite faction killed by your PMC, you get a bonus to combat leveling skills. The higher the level of the eliminated player, the greater the skill bonus. You can add items to your favorites. Such items will be displayed in your profile. Very cool. Another huge change right here. New hitboxes and armor system. Hitboxes. The head is divided into separate simple hit zones. 3 zones have been added to the head. Front neck, throat, back neck, and face collider. I'm not totally sure what a face collider is, but that's cool. Thorax and stomach hit zones have been divided into 4 back sides. The pelvic hit zone is divided into the front, groin, back, and buttocks. So you can like butthole somebody now. Like, you know, we can head eyes people now. You can like, you have butthole this guy with buckshot. New butthole meta incoming, dude. Hit zones cause damage to the stomach zone. Forearm hit zones have been reduced in diameter. Ooh, nice. That's awesome. Hey, that's actually a really great change. So hopefully forearms don't block like the head and torso as much anymore. The death screen now shows more detailed information about the area that was fatally wounded. For example, thorax, upper back. So this way we get specific information on how we died based on our hitbox. Armor. 37 ballistic plates have been added to the game. 7 for chest section, 6 for the rear section, 20 for universal plates for chest and rear sections, and 4 side sections. Ballistic plates have their own parameters specific to armor, strength, material, armor damage, absorption, ricochet parameters, armor type, etc. Ballistic plates are divided into different formats depending on the size and format of the armor section. Ballistic plates cannot be inserted or removed while wearing body armor. It must be removed first. The visual appearance of the ballistic plate depends on its quality. Ballistic plates can spawn in appropriate areas and containers on locations. Ballistic plates are affected by light armor and heavy armor skills depending on the type of ballistic plate, light and heavy. Probably like level 1 to 3 and like 4 to 6, I imagine. Added separate ballistic plate zones of the character, visually matching the location of the body armor. Hit registration zones of ballistic plates of the same format have the same position in all body armor and plate carriers with slots for this plate format. I think that just means that the plates visually will kind of like show in a way on the plate carrier based on the type of plate carrier that it is. Kind of weird like translation issue, I think. The dimensions of the ballistic plate zones are the same as an average dimension of real ballistic plates of the format. Ballistic plate slots and integrated armor slots have been added to the body armor vests and plate carriers. All ballistic plates of corresponding format can be installed on the armor plate slots. The slots of some armor plates can be fitted with plates of several formats. For example, chest section of the Ana 2 Tactical M2 plate carrier can be fitted with SAPI and granite format plates. Body armor protection is no longer uniform. It now depends on what areas of the body it visually protects. For example, no body armor protects the armpit area. So for example, like right here, or like the collarbone, or the back of the shoulder. Like anywhere that the plate carrier does not actually cover is not going to actually protect you. So the straps on a plate carrier right here don't have armor. However, this is also visually indicated by soft armor. So a good example of this would say be Karasa, Gen 4, or Killa. They have like those neck covers, right? And there's soft armor around the shoulder. Well, be it that is armor, it won't be like level 5, 6 armor. It's going to be soft armor. It'll be like level 2 aramid fiber. And these parts of the vest cannot be completely repaired, like from like, you know, low durability to like the max durability. You can repair them, but if you want a brand new vest, you're going to have to buy a new one. This is something that I actually tested out on ETS. The durability of body armor has been converted to the durability of the installed armor, aka like the vest itself, not the plates inside of it. An armor collar that protects the neck hitbox is added for a large number of body armors. Like I said, the neck hitbox. Body armor vest cost, weight, and penalties have been adjusted. Some cost, weight, and penalties have been moved to the ballistic plates. Integrated armor slots have been added to a large number of helmets. This also is the same thing. So helmets have multiple sections of the armor now. So for example, most ballistic plates, not plates, but helmets are separated into 2 sections. There's the front armor of the helmet and the back armor of the helmet. It's no longer universal, no longer shares one durability. Integrated armor in body armor and helmets. The protection of armor and helmets is divided into separate zones depending on which section the zone protects, sometimes several zones. These are the slots with integrated armor. Integrated armor zones have their own separate durability. For example, you can now reduce your opponent's chest durability armor to 0 and not damage the durability of other armor zones if you shoot them in the chest. So for example, soft armor versus the hard plate. In the inspection window, you can see which areas of the vest or helmet are protected and what their durability rating is. Integrated armor cannot be removed or replaced, aka like the vest itself. Excuse me. In the inspection window, you can see exactly which areas of the vest or helmet are protected and what the durability rating is. Excuse Excuse me. Jeez. Each integrated armor has its own armor-specific settings, durability, material, armor damage, absorption, ricochet parameters, armor type, and others. Integrated armor is affected by the light and heavy armor skill, depending on the type of light and heavy armor. So, okay, the vests, not only the plates, are also considered light or heavy. Balancing. The damage parameter of various armors and materials have been adjusted to reflect their new durability values. When repairing body armor, durability is distributed according to the following priorities: ballistic plates, chest, back, sides. Then integrated armor, chest, collar, back, pelvis, sides, and other. You can also repair ballistic plates as separate items. When repairing helmets, the durability is distributed according to the following priorities: integrated armor, top, face, eyes, jaws, back of the ears, heads, and other. Integrated armor can receive an enhancement when it is repaired. Chances for armor to receive common and rare enhancements while being repaired have been increased. So like your enchantments, armor enchantments. Interface. You can now see the durability of different armor zones, ballistic plates, by hovering over the durability digit of the vest or the helmet. This also works on the flea market. You can also see brief information about the presence and quality of the ballistic plates in the posted flea market offers. Slots for ballistic plates and integrated armor, if the vest has them, has been added to the vest and helmet inspection screens. The order of the slots is always the same. Armor class is now displayed with Roman numeral icon on the ballistic plate icon in the armor class list. Flea market and trading. The flea market ban has been removed for a large number of body armors. Ballistic plates with protection class 5 and 6 cannot be sold on the flea market. Ballistic plates have been added to the inventory of various traders. So again, massive changes to body armor. So many things incorporated with that feature. We can't customize our vests yet in terms of like where the magazines go and adjusting like our like inventory capacity on vests yet. That is something they want to do, as well as just like cosmetic things like patches, chem lights, carabiners, other random shit. But this is like the first stage of that, and this is really the more important part if you ask me, because again, this is going to completely change the dynamic of how EFT is played and what the meta is, and in terms of what armor is good, what ammo is good, and how that affects your character. Again, really huge change. I still remember way back when there was only P.A.C.A. and 6B43, like the Ford armor that people call it, the big green armor, and there was only a Kiver helmet in the game, and there was no head hitbox. And then when the head hitbox was introduced, that was like a massive equalizer in terms of what ammo and gear were viable in the gameplay. And so now that the body armor has the same like features as the head hitbox mechanic, again, it's opening up the door for so many new possibilities, so many new playstyles, so many new weapons and ammo types to be viable. And again, this is just a massive change, and this is something that we're likely going to be likely going to be noticing every single raid. And again, super cool, super excited. Honestly, really awesome mechanic. Can't wait to play with this today. It's gonna be good. Again, another huge gameplay change. Vaulting and obstacle interaction. We can finally climb and vault places. Holy shit, I can't believe it. Hopefully this means we're not stuck on like cardboard boxes on the ground and stuff anymore. At least I hope. Obstacle vaulting has been added to the game. There are two types of vaulting: climbing the obstacle and remaining on it. For example, climbing a crate to fire at the enemy on top of it. Vaulting over an obstacle, for example, jumping over a small fence to take a shortcut. Each of these types of systems, different animations for different heights, different parameters of stamina and arm stamina consumption with different action speeds depending on the negative effects. During a sprint, you can jump over obstacles without the goal of climbing them, vaulting. So I believe this means that if you're sprinting towards a fence or like like something that vault over, you're going to automatically vault. If you're walking, you're not just going to auto vault, but if you're sprinting, you're just going to, pop over whatever that is. Kind of like your like dynamic parkour, which I think is nice. This way you don't have to worry about inputting things, at least when you're sprinting. If vaulting is performed while walking, the loudness of such actions will be noticeably lower than jumping and sprinting. For the convenience of overcoming obstacles, an option has been added to the game: vaulting over medium obstacles, where you can choose auto or hotkey. If you select auto, your character will climb over medium and low height obstacles by himself. If you select hotkey, you will need to press the jump key to initiate the vaulting. But this way you can control the character's actions more precisely. The character now stops if he hits a wall while walking or sprinting. That's actually nice. Cool little quality of life change there, but cool. We have the option to at least like not have that auto jump. I think I'm gonna mess around with the auto jump or auto vault, I guess, just to see if it feels nice. Another huge gameplay change: shoulder transitions, shoulder swapping, shooting from the left side peaks being way more viable now. The ability to move firearms from the right shoulder to the left shoulder has been added to the game. This can be useful when you want to fire from the left side while behind cover. Shoulder transition is only available during walking and crouching and leaning and other actions. So we can't do this while sprinting, I guess. Shoulder transition is not available while prone and overhead and side blind firing. Positioning the weapon on the shoulder imposes a penalty. The weapon has additional sway when moving. So I think you've actually seen this if you looked at the gameplay preview, is that when he's walking, because again, what he does, he's doing like a modified grip. So normally you grab a rifle like this. He's not doing the full like grip swap. Normally you go like this and you transition like this. He's going like this. He's keeping his right hand on the trigger and he's going like this. It's basically like a transition. It is an actual technique that people use. It's a bit awkward, but it takes less time and you have like a different sense of control. So again, you're not, let me just show you. Let me show you. So normally with like a shoulder swap, you're doing this. So you're here, you grab some part of the weapon, usually the magazine, grab here, and then you bring your lead hand, you bring it back, boom, like this, and then your shoulder swapped, right? But instead, it goes like this. You're here, you're doing this. You're basically just bringing the buttstock to your other shoulder. So everything is still like the same, but again, since we're moving that point of contact over to our left side, because in Tarkov, the bullets come out of the bang stick, you know, the end of the barrel, because firearms are precision weapons. Left side peeking, normally when you do a left side peek, you're exposing your left shoulder, your left leg, your left hip, your left torso, all before your muzzle's clear around the corner. We all know what a right side peek is, right? We understand that concept. So now that we can do this, the weapon is now on the left side of our screen, left side of our character, so we'll be exposing our muzzle much earlier than we could before. And that, again, makes left side peeking just as viable as right side. With the only, you know, added downside of, you know, moving in this position is obviously a little bit more awkward for, I hope, obvious reasons. So yeah, again, shoulder swapping, awesome. Control settings, warning, all control settings have been reset to default. Added shoulder transition action key via mouse 4. Added vaulting action. Default key is space. Press type is continuous. The jump action has been reassigned to spacebar with release press. Try these controls settings in game before changing them. Okay. Preset ammo loading. You can now save setting presets for loading ammunition and managing sequentially, as well as quickly loading magazines using the presets. So I think this means we can save a preset for like the ammo. So if you want 10 tracers on the bottom of your mag, you can make a preset for that, which is honestly super cool. Players can name each preset, select the appropriate loading preset, view its contents, and compare it to other loading presets. The magazine loading preset is divided into 3 blocks. Top, how many of which cartridges will be at the top of the magazine / belt, i.e. which cartridges will be first. Loop, how many cartridges will be cycled in the magazine and belt. So like, you know, tracer, or like, or no, sorry, like standard tracer, you know, staging them out. Bottom, how many of the cartridges will be at the bottom of the magazine? You can create up to 30 unique magazine presets with a limit of 5 presets per caliber. That's honestly really cool. New recoil mechanic. Again, another huge change. The recoil mechanic has been improved to make it more realistic and comfortable with players. A special emphasis has been placed on improving the feel of semi-auto and short burst shooting. Thank you, God. I mean, well, thank you, Nikita and Battle State. Holy shit, to improve the feeling of semi-auto and short burst shooting. I can't believe it. I hope this feels good. That is just like, that makes me so happy because like you guys know me who watch me play Tarkov. Like I've been using semi-auto like on all of my guns in Tarkov for the longest time, forever. And I have my reasons behind that. But the fact that they just said it right here, make semi-auto and short burst firing shooting more viable. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. That is so awesome, dude. New recoil mechanic now includes a variety of flexible settings allowing for balance adjustments based on analytical data and player feedback. All weapon recoil parameters have been rebalanced. Awesome. Holy shit. Awesome. Lightkeeper services. After completing certain Lightkeeper quests, you'll unlock the following services. Sacred Amulet Service. Lightkeeper gives the character the item Sacred Amulet. While this character is wearing the amulet, all cultists on all locations don't attack you unless provoked. That's actually pretty cool. Rogue Support Service. When a player purchases this service in that raid, rogues will not attack the player when ordering the service, regardless of their faction. In addition, rogues will provide fire support by attacking targets that the player who has purchased this service has directed their attention to. So I think maybe we can command rogues? Now, that's actually really cool. Zirachi Support. When the player buys the service, in that raid, Zirachi will support the player by firing at targets that the player is attacking. That's pretty cool. Cool services. I heard at TwitchCon, I don't want to spoil anything, but I heard at TwitchCon when I was talking with Nikita, there are other services like this, similar, kind of maybe actually not even anything like these ones specifically. There will be other services that will do other things in raid that you can kind of use for assistance. And they're not like AI related. I'll say that to like give you a little bit of a hint. They're not AI related. That's all I'm going to say because I don't want to spoil it. But there will be other services that are not AI related that you can use from Lightkeeper. Just let that sink in. It could be a lot of different things. Just let it sink in. Let it sink in. Might be able to order pizza. Should be pretty cool. Weapon rack. You can now add the displayed weapons to your favorites. These weapons will be displayed in your profile. Very sick. Added the ability to view another player's profile page. In his profile page, you can view gear equipped by the player, brief statistics, rare achievements earned. Favorite weapons displayed on the weapon rack. Favorite items displayed in the Hall of Fame. Player profiles can be viewed on any screen of the game, including the raid screen after dying to another player. That's cool. AI. Adjusted peaceful and combat behavior of AI when moving from one area to another within one location. Balancing changes to trading. Change the trader prices and availability of ammunition of the following calibers. 12.755, Lapua Magnum, 366, 545, 556, 3 Blackout, blah, 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 blah. A lot of ammo prices have been changed. I'm not going to read all these out. Change the trader prices and availability of armor at all loyalty levels. So it seems like we got a pretty decent trader rework here, so I'm excited to see what changed. I've always wanted the traders to have like less. Some people, it might be a hot take, but I think traders having less available and only having like more of the bare minimum to help us out, and like not being able to say buy the same gun preset every raid and like buy all the ammo every reset and stuff. I feel like that just would kind of improve the gameplay where you have to level your hideout to craft certain ammo because you can't buy it. And you have to go into raid to find certain attachments because you can't buy it, etc., etc. So I'm hoping if anything like that actually happens. Adjusted various trade offers and barters of weapon attachments and other items. Balancing changes to quests. Expanded quest rewards. You will now be rewarded more often with unlocking previously unavailable trade offers, barters, ammo, and crafting recipes. So we get more recipes for questing. Very cool. Change the order of secure quests from Friend from the West Part 2 and Setup. Now order Friend from the West Part 2, Setup, Inform Means Arms, Chumming, Bullshit, Silent Caliber. Oh, wow. So Setup is right after Friend from the West. That's interesting. I kind of like that. Setup is painful, but whatever. That's cool. Change the quest objectives for Punisher Part 2, Punisher Part 4, and Tarko Shooter Part 4. Balancing changes to crafting. Adjusted armor crafts. Now, to make an armor vest, you need to find a set of fabrics and ballistic plates that fits the form factor. So the armor, I guess. It's a weird way to word it, but whatever. Adjusted ammo crafts. Reduce the production times and cost of cheap ammunition. Great. Balancing changes to ammo. The damage and armor penetration of different calibers have been revised and adjusted. Are they going to show us the ammo stats on ammo in the game now? Because it does in Arena. If I look at my kit and it has M80, it shows me the damage and penetration of M80 in Arena. I hope that means we can see that shit in Tarkov now, because I'm sick and tired of having to go to websites to look at that shit. Like, they will show you the 10th percentage value of how much heat ammo gives you, but they will not show us the two most important stats on ammunition in the game. So I'm really hoping that happens. Balancing changes to muzzle devices. The muzzle devices have been rebalanced. Suppressors, muzzle adapters, flash hiders, and compensators. I hope this means the nerf to recoil on suppressor muzzle brake combos being nerfed, because I've always thought it's stupid that the lowest recoil attachments are the suppressor and the muzzle brake in combination. I feel like loud guns should always have the least amount of recoil. So I'm hoping maybe that means that. I hope, because, suppressed weapon meta in Tarkov is abysmal. Shit's way too quiet, and it gives you too low recoil. I digress. BTR 82A has been added to the streets of Tarkov, traveling between different stop points of the city. BTR offers various services to his passengers. Taxi. The player can travel to any available part of the map in the city in total safety. Move items to stash service. The player can send items to the stash with the found in raid status. The service is only available to PMCs. So this is finally in the game. Big change. Super stoked about this. Covering fire service. The player can order covering fire from the help of the BTR weaponry, which provides the safest possible drop off at the stopping point. The service is available only after the purchase of the taxi service. The service is only available for PMCs. I'm hoping this also means cars. We can drop our loot off of there and send them to our stash as well, so we can finally dead drop stuff mid raid. That is awesome. List of stop points in the streets of Tarkov: Pinewood, Cinema, Collapsed Crane, Cardinal Apartment Building, Tram, City Center, etc., etc. The BTR is neutral to all players unless the player starts attacking first. If someone purchases the covering fire service, the BTR becomes hostile. When the service ends, the BTR becomes neutral to all players again. The cost of the service depends on the faction. Bear U6 Scav Karma, Charisma skill level is also affected by this. Cool. Quality of life, the visual effect of painkillers has been changed. Suspicious. We'll see what it looks like though. The door to the expanded part of the hideout is now open after construction. Change the camera system in the hideout from railed to free camera. WASD, rotate camera, so we have a free camera in the hideout. That's cool. List of changes. Fix several visual bugs and artifacts on Tarkov and Shoreline. Fixed incorrect spawn points of random containers on all locations. Fixed a problem that led to the lack of damage registration for melee weapons in some cases. Fixed incorrect behavior of rogues in attacking the hangar buildings. Online house fixed an issue where kill bots would remain standing. Fixed a lack of muzzle flash when looking at a shooting player. Fixed AI behavior when interacting with stationary weapons. Fixed an incorrect value of some parameters in the characteristic statistics. Fixed incorrect value behaviors in the hideout when scrolling in the UI elements. Fixed several compatibility issues with weapon attachments, and fixed the ability to hear outdoor sounds while inside the bunker on reserve. So bushes and stuff. Cool. You know, I was kind of expecting like more changes, because usually every patch they have a section called changes. I mean, these are kind of, it's not it. These are like bug fixes. And I was hoping to see that, because it's always like little slight, like weird adjustments and changes. But this is like, again, super juicy update. Lot to look forward to. A lot of content. A lot of gameplay changes, which is why I'm stoked. Gameplay changes are literally the only thing that I actually look forward to in Tarkov now. Like, I don't care about new maps, don't care about new bosses, don't give about new weapons. I want things that actually change the way the game is played. And we're getting a lot of that this update. And so I think that this update will likely keep me around longer than it has the past couple of years. Because obviously, you know, we're a variety stand now. We don't just play Tarkov all day, every day. So, I don't know, guys. What do you think? Honestly, this update's pretty impressive. I'm really excited to play it whenever the patch goes live. I'm probably gonna be grinding this, playing with the homies, you know, checking out the new Recoil and all that shit. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the patch breakdown. We'll be playing this game live on Twitch here very, very soon. And I'll see you guys later, man. I'll see you in a raid or something. Let me know what you think about the Recoil and the armor hitboxes and shit. Should be really good, man. Later.